So what do you guys think? Has this been fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What? Yeah.
Really? Okay. Has it been challenging?
Yes.
So now I have a question for you. Do you think this will hold up if I use a fan? Do you think I can blow it over?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I think it'll hold.
Well, I have this fan. Let's see what happens.
Wait, Reed, are you making a sport thing?
Wait, this is.
Oh, it went over. No, yeah, well, but that's okay. Trial and error.
This actually was the part that.
Yeah, well, you just need to make it a little more sturdy. So think about that.
What if we cut this smaller? If we cut the extra.
It's worth a try. Yeah. Go ahead.
I want it to be kind of a wing shape, so that we can go around it.
Okay. All right. I see that here. That's good. That's good. And maybe my wind was from the wrong
kind of.
angle. Okay. Well, that's something an engineer would have to think about, don't you think?
I did.
Okay.
And
Very good.
I just wasn't afraid you wouldn't think about it.
Well, welcome to the kickoff for Dream Big Engineering Week. I'm Van Reiner, the president and CEO of the Maryland Science Center. The Discovery organization presents Engineers Week for the engineering community to celebrate its accomplishments and to let everyone know how engineers make things better. Another critical Engineers Week component is volunteers reaching out to inspire the next generation of innovators. This year, we want them to dream big, which is the Engineers Week theme. Here at the Maryland Science Center, we encourage dreamers. We encourage them to get involved, to actually learn by doing. And that's one of our mottos. We want to inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, technicians to help make life better. And in fact, we have a space that we're in now. We call it the Shed. And it's our place where students can come in and then they can make something out of ordinary components. What it is, sometimes we tell them what we want them to make, sometimes we let them do it themselves. But the point is to use their creativity to design something like a tower that may withstand an earthquake or a windstorm or other things. Not only is Dream Big the Engineers Week theme, but this year we have a giant screen film called Dream Big. And Dream Big, the film, will take you from the world's tallest building to a bridge that extends above the clouds to a solar car race in Australia. But most importantly, Dream Big will talk to you about what motivates an engineer and what kind of heart is required to solve a problem or to make life better. But rather than have me tell you by standing here and talking about the film, I just thought it would be great to see a short clip from this film so you get an idea of what the film really talks about.
From the beginning, engineers have shaped our world. They make the impossible possible. One new idea can change everything. Engineers create.
Well, we're trying to get kids excited about engineering, and we basically want to show why engineering is a great profession, why they should be inspired to help others all around the world make a better life for themselves.
They see this film and they think easily, that could be me. I'm that kid in that classroom. I'm going to be designing that bridge. I'm going to be helping these people, and I'm going to be changing the world.
Dream Big is more than just a film. It's an entire educational program. Engineering is now part of the curriculum for the next generation science standards. So we put together a whole toolkit for educators. We have hands-on activities, 12 lesson plans, 10 educational videos, and we have 1 million engineers excited to work with students and introduce them to the world of engineering.
It's taking it from the textbook and bringing it into real life. It definitely covers all the standards, everything: engineering, technology, mathematics, geology, social studies, and also just compassion. I think so many times that's not necessarily a standard that's written down, but it was a theme throughout the film. It's not just about how big of a tower can we make. This is really affecting people's lives.
The great thing about seeing the movie in IMAX is that children will see people like them doing things that help others, and they'll feel like they are there.
It just blew me away. The fact that the screen was enormous and you're just sitting there thinking, I can't believe this is even real. It gives me goosebumps every time.
IMAX is the next best way to experience real life. And I think that is the key in getting kids interested in science.
They will be the next change makers. Every student in every classroom is the next change maker right now, and I really feel that this film can inspire them to go out and take that first step.
The joy of engineering the future belongs to the young. What better time to start dreaming big?
Dream Big is more than a movie, and we want to invite you to become a part of this amazing campaign. To get our conversation started, I would now like to introduce our moderator, Charlene Wheelis. Charlene is Principal Vice President of Global Corporate Affairs at the Bechtel Corporation. Charlene.
Great, thank you, Van. Wasn't that a great clip?
It was.
It was really exciting. You know, every engineering project, great or small, starts with a dream. Engineers engage their creativity and technical know-how to transform those dreams into reality. Their dreams have resulted in giant structures, improved agriculture, and made it possible to explore the heavens and oceans. Our goal today is to get you as excited about Dream Big as we are, and how, along with this great movie, you can answer the call to engage and inspire the next generation of engineers. Now, I am pleased to introduce today's panel. To my left, Menzer Pehlivan. Menzer earned a PhD in geotechnical engineering at the University of Texas, Austin, and now works for CH2M in Seattle. She has worked on geotechnical and earthquake engineering projects in the US, Canada, Mexico, and Costa Rica. As a volunteer, Menza was part of an engineering reconnaissance team that traveled to Nepal following the 2015 earthquake. She also chairs the outreach committee of the ASCE Geotechnical Institute. And on a lighter note, Menzer is also a former national snowboarding champion, and she was named a new face of engineering by ASCE earlier this year. Welcome, it's nice to have you. Next to Menzer is Rochella Goins. Rochella works as a project engineer at Bechtel Corporation. She is responsible for engineering design execution, schedule, and budget preparation for the Department of Energy's tank waste treatment plant in Richland, Washington. This project is a one-of-a-kind complex that will mix 56 million gallons of chemical waste into stable glass forms. When completed, this project will protect the surrounding communities, the Columbia River, and downstream residents. By the way, this waste was left over from the Manhattan Project. And Van Reiner, who you've already met, our host here at the Maryland Science Center. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Let's start with our first question. So for you, Rochella, what is the connection between engineering and dreaming big?
Well, for me, it started with my first science project. I did my first science fair project in the 4th grade. At that time, I knew that we had this thing called the Earth, and we had a moon, and I could see the moon, and I could see the sun. But what I didn't realize until 4th grade was there's this solar system out there with lots of other planets and moons and different other planets other than just us. And so by doing that first science fair project, it really fueled my interest in the NASA space program. At that time, we were sending people to the moon. We were in the very early stages of completing the International Space Station, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I was dreaming about being a part of that, even though I had never actually even been on an airplane at that point, but I still wanted to be a part of that. I didn't want to be one of the astronauts on the spacecraft going to the moon or living on the International Space Station, but I wanted to help them get there. So many years later, I'd have had an opportunity to meet a real astronaut, Stephanie Wilson, who's a cousin of a very, very good friend of mine. And so we've shared our dreams about what we were dreaming about as children. And while I wanted to help people get out to the moon or to the International Space Station, she wanted to be there, and she's had an opportunity to go to the space station twice. And so then the way that I have been able to work with helping people get there was my career has primarily been in designing and building power plants, which provide electricity to homes and to businesses, including NASA, to help them finish the systems and the programs that they needed to finish in order to accomplish getting people to the International Space Station, for example. So one of the big projects that I've had an opportunity to work on most recently is one where we finished a nuclear power unit that now supplies power to more than 650,000 homes in the state of Tennessee and in the region that they serve. And it's one of the largest projects that we've worked on. So from dreaming as a small child, wanting to help people get out to the International Space Station, I wanted to dream about how I could help accomplish getting them there, and that's what I've done throughout my career.
Well, that's fantastic, and I think that facility you're talking about in Tennessee is at the Watts Bar.
It's the Watts Bar
nuclear
Unit
reactor.
2.
Yes, the first one to go online this century, right?
That's
Is
right,
that
the first one in the 21st century. That's right.
Wow, that's fantastic that you worked on that. And wow, fourth grade, that's when
Fourth
you
grade.
started getting
Yes.
interested and inspired. Wow,
Right.
that's amazing. Menzer, how about you? Talk to us about how you were dreaming big.
Well, engineering is about dreaming big. Every engineering project starts with a dream. And as Rochelle mentioned, that dream can be, it's basically what one seemed to make, what one seemed impossible, possible. And it can be either just connecting two villages across a river, it can be building an island in the middle of the ocean, or it can be basically going to the moon. It all starts with a dream. And every dream is big. So when I was growing up in Turkey, there is a city of Istanbul, which is located on two continents, one part in Asia, one part in Europe, divided by the Bosphorus. So just imagine how that division affected the culture and the commerce until through engineering. And that literally, through the engineering, the two continents, and as we can also say, two worlds were connected. So now they're connected via bridges and underground tunnel. So engineering is transformational. So,
And how did you get interested in engineering? What started it for you?
it's about dreaming big. It's about inspiration. And again, inspiration it might be to find a solution to a complex problem, or it can be to basically help people or to change the world. My inspiration is to reduce the risk and build more resilient communities to withstand natural disasters like earthquakes that started after experiencing the 1999 earthquake in Turkey and seeing what 37 seconds of ground shaking can do. The aftermath was disastrous. More than 17,000 people were dead, 40,000 injuries, and 250,000 people left homeless. I think that was my main inspiration.
Wow, so engineering is as much a passion for you as it is a profession, fair to say?
That is so true.
So I'm here with some folks who obviously were dreaming big, but let's talk a little bit about why it's so important for the next generation engineers and kids in general to dream big as well. Menzer?
Well, every kid needs like a little inspiration, and Engineers Week and the Dream Big together is, I believe, going to help it tremendously, because it's going to show, like Dream Big, the movie, is about engineering, but it also includes the personal stories how people found the inspiration to become engineers, to change the world, to help people. And it gives that message so clearly. And we need to, for the next generation of engineers, they can say, if she did that, I can do it too. And it covers all the diverse culture of engineering. It is not just like because you're from one particular background, that doesn't mean that you can do it. And it is so important that we give the message, if you want it, you can do it. It's all about starting with a dream. And I think that's a great place to start that message.
You know, it's important for kids to understand that engineers solve society's grand challenges. Clean drinking water and resilient structures that are strong enough to withstand Mother Nature. And they rely on Mother Nature to help diversify our energy sources. For example, the Ivanpah Solar Generating System, a Bechtel project, nearly doubled the amount of commercial solar power in the U.S. You know, it was mentioned earlier that Dream Big will premiere during Engineers Week, which is February 19th through the 25th. How does Dream Big fit into the Engineers Week mission of celebration and student outreach? Rochella, you have a thought?
Well, it gives children an opportunity, it gives us an opportunity to help inspire our kids to let them know that they can dream big. They can, they will only be limited by their creativity. They also need to understand that even with failures, and I certainly have had my fair share of lots of failures. I tore apart lots of things when I was a child, trying to figure out how things worked, or if I tweaked it just a little bit, would it still work? In a lot of cases, I was not able to put them back together in the way that I first found them, but it was a learning opportunity. Everything is a teachable moment. So we want to make sure our young kids understand that they can dream big, that they can use their imagination to solve problems. There are endless possibilities to solve problems, to be really creative, get those creative juices flowing. Just imagine all the fun things that they can do to solve problems throughout the world.
Right. You know, and you mentioned failures. I imagine, you know, something that we don't think of often is that we sometimes learn more from our failures than we do from our successes.
That's correct.
Right?
That's right.
So going back to the topic of Engineers Week, Van, talk to us about Engineers Week and Dream Big here.
Well, from my point of view, the stories presented in Dream Big, combined with the outreach of engineering volunteers, gives us the best opportunity to inspire the next generation. It brings us all together. We can form partnerships that can help us move forward. Science centers like the one we're in today are an intersection of education and experiential learning. You know, you can lecture, you can read a book, but if you do it, you own it. And that's what science centers are about. So more than 40 of these institutions have signed up to show this movie, Dream Big. And I think that, and that number is going to grow, but I think that with showing the film and actively involving the engineering community will have the biggest impact on the next generation going forward.
Great. You know, that's a great reminder about why we have students behind us. Not only are they working on a Dream Big activity, but they are also a reminder of what Engineers Week and Dream Big is all about. The call to engage students in engineering, and we need volunteers for that. We need you. So let's drill down a bit and talk about how volunteers can get involved and use Dream Big and its resources to engage students. Menzer, can you share with us some details about this great program, the Girls Night Out program?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited about that. So Girls Night Out is going to give an opportunity for the girls and their mothers to visit the science museums that are showing Dream Big in their community, spend the night together, watch the movie, and learn about how they can change the world through engineering and how many successful female engineers are out there that they can be one of them too. It will also give a chance for them to meet the female engineers from their community. And Dream Big as a movie is really serving that point. There are 4 main stories and 3 out of 4 are about female engineers. both Rochelle and I are in the movie. And another engineer is Avery Bang, who was another new face of engineer, selected as new face of engineer by ASE, and Angelica Hernandez, who's a young engineer from Phoenix. So it gives that motivation to the girls that they can be one, but now they can also go with their girlfriends too. They don't have to bring their mothers, but.
Well, I was certainly going to say, if we have teenage girls listening, maybe a girls' night out with your mother's not, right up there on your list of things you want to do. Great. So, Van, could you tell us about some of the things that the Maryland Science Center will do when we open Dream Big in February?
Sure. Well, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to engage with a local engineering firm around a premiere of the movie, and it'll be premieres on February 17th, right before the start of Engineers Week. The other thing that we would like to do and plan on doing is bring a program that we take out to the community called Family Engineering Night, and bring that back in so that family units who come to the Science Center to see the movie have then an opportunity to engage in engineering activities, not at a really complicated level, but at a basic level, so that they get a feel for solving a problem, using things, everyday things, to help solve a problem, because that's the beginning. That will light the spark, and I'm excited about that. I think that we don't do enough of that. We have to do more, and this movie gives us the opportunity to expand that program.
Right. Well, and it's an IMAX movie, so that makes it that much more exciting. So family engineering, this program, can you give us a sense, what types of projects are being done in this program?
Well, what we do is we take about 8 of our staff with 8 hands-on activities. It might be somewhere around flight, it could be building a structure, it could be how things relate to each other, but it's designed for the family unit, so that sometimes the parents will stand back and let their children do it. Other times you can tell if there's an engineer in the crowd, because they'll muscle in, usually the dads, and say, no, watch me do it.
And mothers too.
But but anyway, it gets the family unit involved, and I think that's important. We can set the spark, but the family will keep the spark going.
Great. So just picking up on that and setting the spark, which is exciting in and of itself. And ladies, you both were in the film, as you had mentioned, Menzer. So what was that experience like? I mean, how many times in your life do you get to be part or actually in an IMAX movie? What was that like, Rochelle?
It was just an amazing experience. It was not, I've never been in a film before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But I also knew that it was a great opportunity to inspire kids and let them see how exciting engineering is. There were a lot of things about filmmaking that I was not aware of. I didn't realize there was a lot of waiting for just the right camera angles and the sun to be in the right position. But it was really quite an amazing experience for me.
Oh, great.
And I hope that it inspires a lot of kids to pursue careers in engineering.
Great. Menzer, how about you?
Well, it's as you just said it, it's once in a lifetime experience. And when I first received the call from McLeary Freeman, I thought it was spam. So I was just like, would you be in a movie? I was like, me in a movie? That should be a spam. But so anyways, we started talking about it, and they became interested in my story. The next time we were talking, the 1-hour phone call turned out to be 2 hours. And next thing I know, I was in Phoenix filming with kids and doing some volunteer activities and showing the different aspects of engineering, motivating kids to be an engineer. One of the greatest stories that I had when I was there, so one of these girls came to me and said, like, so are you an actress or an engineer? Because you definitely do not look like an engineer. I was like, no, I am the engineer. So you don't just pretend to be an engineer. I can be like you, an engineer. And I think the Dream Big is giving that motivation, because it's true stories. It's the true engineers that are in this field that are somehow changing the world, and they can become one and change the world too. But being in a movie is an excellent experience. Now, as Rochelle said, I have a better appreciation of like the movie stars and how long it takes to just get that 10-second scene.
Right, right.
And I think it's been very critical too, so that children see the faces of engineering.
Yes.
There are many faces of engineering, and I think it's really key for kids to see what engineers look like. Sometimes people do have preconceived notions of what an engineer is, what an engineer looks like. So I think this film will help with that a lot.
Well, certainly the face of engineering is changing, right? It's
Right.
becoming more diverse. It's,
Much more diverse.
Right, which is great for all of us. So, Rochella, let me ask you, how can individual volunteers use Dream Big in their outreach efforts for Engineers Week or throughout the year? Obviously, having volunteers is extremely important to the success of the program and to outreach. Can you give us some thoughts on this?
Oh, absolutely. It is critical for us to have volunteers. People can volunteer at their local schools. They can participate in local after-school activities and take projects and talk about dreaming big and the Dream Big film at their schools or after-school programs or community centers or their local science museums and science centers as well. Also on the Discover E website, there are a large number of activities that are available as download resources. There are more than 20 lesson plans that are available, more than 50 activities listed, similar to some of the experiments that the kids are doing today. So there are a lot of fun activities on the website, and I am really super excited about one that I want to do with my 10-year-old niece. It's and it's from the website. It's a heart valve replacement. So you get a box. We're going to build a prototype heart with all of the chambers of the heart and basically do a mitral valve replacement. And so I'm, as a mechanical engineer, it really excites me because I just look at the cardiovascular system as a big piping system with a bunch of valves in it anyway. So this will be a great opportunity to introduce her to engineering, mechanical engineering in particular, in a fun and exciting way that she otherwise might not have made the connection. So I'm really excited about that. But there are a lot of other fun activities and projects that are on the website that our volunteers can choose from.
That's great. So clearly volunteerism makes a difference. And Van, how about here at the Science Center? How do you all use volunteers? And I'm sure we're going to use them here with Dream Big.
And honestly, I think the biggest single impact a volunteer does is to show the students what an engineer looks like. It's not somebody behind a glass wall. It's not somebody with a, well, I'm going to show my age, a slide rule and a pocket protector. It's
What's
real people. it's real people. And I think that's the important thing, is that students need to see what engineers look like, how they talk, how they think, because it makes it human. And that's the important thing.
Right, and there really is, it's funny that over the years people have just forgotten really the essence of engineering, and it's really in everything we do. And
that's right.
Earlier, Van and I were talking about the engineering required to wear high heels and then walk effectively or successfully. So as you can see, Dream Big is going to be a wonderful opportunity for all of us. I encourage all of you to check out the new Dream Big website at discovere.org/dreambig. And please sign up as a Dream Big volunteer at the website. If you do, or rather when you do, we can help connect you with your local museum and volunteer organizations, as well as keep you up to date on Dream Big happenings and resources. So thank you, Menzer and Rochella, for being with us today.
Welcome.
And Van, thank you so much, and to the Maryland Science Center for hosting us. It's been great to be here.
Well, it's been our pleasure, and this whole Engineers Week fits right into our whole mission, and to show people how science and engineering is fun, engaging, and meaningful.
Oh.
So thank you for
Great,
the opportunity.
thank you.
That brings our today's webcast to a close. Thank you to our guests from the Bechtel Corporation and ASCE, and also to the students behind me. On behalf of the Maryland Science Center and Discover E, thank you for joining us this morning, and we wish you great success for your Engineering Week outreach. This year, we encourage you to dream big and to dream.